I just wanted to, ask you a couple of hard questions.
That's fine.
If you don't mind. Yeah. A lot of people have a concern when, the government, even though it is, formed of elected members, that they might, if they are in charge of an electoral reform, to actually, take it in a direction that would favor their party. Now, as a politician, your role is to, remain in power, or if you are in opposition, your role is to get to power. Like, that's normal. Would you not, be tempted as a politician to, to have a system that would favor your next win?
My role is to listen to people. The role of the government in any democracy is to also listen to people. And so if there is some skepticism about the electoral reform agenda of the government, then I would say look at how we've approached all of this. We've put in place mechanisms, namely consultations, so that individuals can come express their will and let their government know what they think about electoral reform. So that's what I would say to that question.
How would you ensure transparency, and how would you ensure that you're reaching the majority of Canadians, as opposed to in small discussions, right? The small sessions, right? This one. It is across this section, right. But it's not everybody, right?
Well, we need to continue to consult Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly there is a committee in place looking at electoral reform. Their report will be tabled. Their report will be submitted to Parliament. And from there, we can see a broad cross-section of views. This is a government that is interested and intent on consulting. We want to understand the views and perspectives of Canadians, and we want to march forward alongside them. This is not a top-down process by any means, not at all.
Okay. Would you be fundamentally opposed to a referendum?
I'm not opposed to a referendum. However, I do have some questions and concerns about a referendum. As I alluded to in my comments earlier today with the group, anytime Canada has made a major change in terms of our electoral system, whether it was granting women the right to vote, granting First Nations people the right to vote, that did not come through referendum mechanisms of a referendum. It came through by decisions. And what we are intent on is listening to Canadians and acting on that basis. That's what this whole purpose is about. This exercise is an exercise in democracy. We're listening to folks, we're consulting with them, and this government will continue to do that, not just on issues of electoral reform, but well beyond that. Whether it's preparing for the budget, whether it's on issues relating to the environment, on the future of our postal service, on defense, we have consulted widely and will continue to do that, because that's what you have to do in democracy.
Okay. Well, one of the things that, one of the reasons people are skeptical, is that Justin Trudeau has already announced that this will be the last year. We use the first past system, right? So is that not a predeterministic view, as opposed to consulting and waiting for the results of the consultation and then moving forward?
Well, I think if you look at what the Prime Minister has said, you see someone that has taken a very courageous decision, someone who has recognized that low voter turnout is something that can really affect a democracy in a very negative way. But it's not only Mr. Trudeau who has made this point. If you look at the party platform of the NDP in the previous election and what Mr. Mulcair said, then you will see a party that has advocated for electoral reform, and the same is the case with respect to Miss May and the Green Party. And if you tabulate all the votes that the Liberals, the Green Party, and the NDP amassed in the previous election, you see that a broad majority of Canadians voted for parties that all endorse electoral reform.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Glad to be here.
For answering the questions.
Glad to chat with you.